I'm going to show you a 2-degree adjustment that will enable you to hit the ball maybe 20, 30 yards further with a lot less effort. Before I show you the 2-degree adjustment, let me just briefly explain why you may need this. A lot of golf instruction is telling us to contort our bodies. And one of the buzzwords we hear a lot is about right side bend. You hear a lot about this getting into the slot here where we're behind the ball. We can from here ideally launch the driver, especially from a sort of a catapult solid placement. And when we sort of set up and then during the swing in an athletic golf swing, more or less a young man's golf swing, we can drive the body and we can ensure that our upper torso, our spine, remains a bit more angular. And what this does, as you can see, I'm exaggerating somewhat, but it's going to enable me to swing up on the driver a little bit more. The thing is, for most of us, that does not work. It hurts our bodies, it hurts our brains trying to make it happen, and it is unathletic. One, it's not easy on the body, and two, it's actually very difficult to train oneself to be able to do it easily. You have to practice a lot to time all these movements up where we get that right side bend, where we're behind the ball and from here we're launching. A lot of things have to happen to be able to sequence and time that correctly. It can work, of course it does. Many of the best players do it very well, but there is an easier way. One of the things I talk about all the time is the variables in golf and how quickly the swing happens. There's very little we can control, but one thing we can do and should do every single shot is do our best to control and be consistent in our setup, because we can decide how the swing is going to move and we can dictate what happens purely by how we position ourselves at setup. And we can control that. No matter what your age is, no matter what your ability is, you can do that. A lot of the time, people are standing basically too vertical. I'm going to exaggerate a bit, but the hips are often sat back a little bit here. The spine is a little bit too straight at setup. And then what happens is we come down and we can end up chopping it, causing too much spin. Or if we're here, we try and adjust because we're trying to get that reverse tilt and stay behind it, and that's where we can sort of drop kick it. Or if we're hanging back, we just sort of chop over the top, right? Can a setup adjustment fix that? Yes, it can. The 2-degree setup change is literally the shoulders, but we don't achieve it just by dipping the shoulders down here because my body is still hanging back. I'm going to struggle as I swing down to sort of get through the ball because I'm still incorrectly set up with my lower body. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to form our setup here with our feet together, okay? This is what we're doing. My setup is feet together, my hands are hanging naturally. I'm going to step slightly to the right, just a little bit more than shoulder width apart. And from here, I'm actually going to just kink in my right hip. For me, if you're left-handed, it's the other way around. I don't necessarily want you bumping that hip forward because what can do there is we can get a little bit off balance and we're over here. So what we're going to do is literally push this hip in. We're sort of making a slight reverse K. And by doing that, you'll see that my shoulder is a little bit more angled from here to here. So if I go from, there's a sort of straight setup, and now I push that in, I am now presetting that 2-degree lock. My shoulders are here, and that is where they stay. That is exactly where they stay, because from here I can launch through my swing. I don't have to do any manipulation through the rest of it. I don't have to alter things. I basically create my framework at setup there, and then all I do from here is make my backswing and then swing through. I want you to keep rehearsing that. You don't even have to be on a golf course. Try it now. Get up, stand up out of your chair, put a club across your shoulders like so. We're going to put our feet together, we're going to step, and we're going to kink in that right hip, just a fraction. And you'll see my shoulders tilt down. I don't have to slide, I don't have to do anything. And the reason why I want you to do it like that is because I want you to rehearse it as frequently as possible. The more you can sort of just step into the correct setup automatically, no matter where we want that ball to be, okay, the more we can just step into it and nail that exact angle, those exact lines, your driving is much more consistent. Here's one thing you must avoid, and I see it all the time. Fidgeting. You have to stop fidgeting. Whether it's trying to adjust your setup, whether it's trying to adjust your feet, the lines on your shoulder, the angles here, your ball position, you cannot walk up to a shot and then try and adjust and move around and find your radius and find your balance. You're manipulating, you're changing the variables constantly. So you have to get better at automatically walking into a setup. So boom, 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 there. That's it. We can do it on repeat with our eyes closed. So when it comes to an actual shot, we just walk into it and we just do the setup, boom, 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 and I go. When we preset the correct angles, do you know what you have to do after that? Very, very little. Very little. But I'm going to give you the magic third step that you have to follow. Because we have preset it, the angles are there. My only task, my only job, and your only job is to, as I make my swing, is to maintain that feeling of a vertical spine. I am not, during the swing, trying to add more side bend. I'm not trying to get behind it. I'm not trying to get over on top of it. I'm literally picturing my spine being dead straight. Is it dead straight? No, but it's on a slight angle because of this, right? Now, my goal is to swing down and through into impact where I am much more vertical with this spine. And what that does is so many good things. One, it's going to help our back a lot more because we are not jamming ourselves in, we're not getting stuck here. I am much more vertical, much more neutral, and it's so much better on your body, right? That's one of the best benefits about it. The other benefit is, as I'm swinging through, I'm not getting jammed, I'm not flipping, and I'm not whipping it around the outside here, or on the inside rather. I'm keeping tall. So my goal is to keep that spine tall, and I swing through and maintain that vertical, tall balance. And what that does, it really focuses your attention to get through nice and tall with freedom. We're not stalling, we're not just stopping, I'm not shoving it this way. I'm feeling balanced, I'm feeling tall, and I don't have to do any manipulation whatsoever. I have preset the golf swing to be as simple as possible. From here, I maintain that spine angle, I drop the hands, and I finish. There we have it. Whether you're an older golfer, a younger golfer, that key, very, very effective. And I promise you, it's going to help. Let me know how you get on. Now, if you want to make sure that you're getting really effortless power and using the ground even more, check out this lesson. And I will see you next time.